Let me grab my coffee real quick, guys. Alright. I like my coffee nice and hot here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what it is about coffee here in the Pacific Northwest, but we love our coffee. And my name's David Boozer. Thank you guys very much for being on this little, I guess, overview or whatever you want to say about email scraping. Now, before any of you guys who are involved in email scraping and that kind of software, before you become judgmental with me or anything else, please, I don't think it's a black hat strategy. It could be a little spammy, but it's not going to hurt your SEO or anything like that when it comes to creating good, solid, quality content online. It's just, for a lot of people out here, I just kind of wanted to get this information out, just because I've had a lot of people on my list. There's tens of thousands of subscribers. A lot of them asked me about the email scraping, and I figured I would just answer everybody, period, at one time, not only on my list, but here, on wherever we're at. Email, I was in insurance, guys. I was in insurance. So the thing is that, I was paying about $650 a week in leads. So these leads had to be quality leads. They really had to be quality leads because my income depended on it, period. So when I went knocking on a door and I had a card and their signature was on it and their writing, that was a pretty pre-qualified lead. Now, of course, in the insurance industry, you'll find out that some of the verbiage on these little cards is not exactly pre-qualifying as you would like, but just because they filled out the card and it was their writing and everything else, it did get my foot in the door. So, cheesy insurance agents, whatever. I'll tell you this right now, though. When it comes to building a successful and a very solid income online, is really going to be built upon branding yourself and branding, your content, and your products, and your services. And it comes through creating good content. A really solid list. Guys, I built up tens of thousands of subscribers without using any sort of email scraping. So, like I said before, you guys out there scraping, don't get mad at me. I'm not saying you're doing something horrible. I'm just saying that, for the most part, is it really effective? It is effective at getting emails. It's effective of getting, hey, it's Lauren and Lauren blah 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 gmail.com. Yeah, it's effective for getting emails, but is it an actual effective lead? Is it a qualified lead? Is it a pre-qualified lead? No, and no scraper out there can tell me otherwise. It's not a real qualified lead. You have to really... One way to get a decent lead from this would be to actually going in and using that software within a particular platform that specifically kind of targets your product, your services, your brand, what you're doing online. But at the same time, remember, this person did not willfully, literally opt in. So you have to remember. The other day I had a gentleman who unsubscribed from me. And I'll tell you this right now, I usually end up, and this isn't to be, haughty or touty or anything like that, I end up with probably, it's not a whole bunch, but it's about 200 to 350, 350 new opt-ins every single month. But do you know what my unsubscribe rate is of this? Maybe 2 or 3, and I'm not talking about percent. I'm talking about individuals. Actually 2 or 3 people that actually unsubscribe in a single month. I never ever, hardly ever get any sort of nasty message or anything like that. They just said, oh, I'm not interested. Oh, it just seems like too much work. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Fine and dandy. Fine and dandy. But the thing is that when you're out here and you're scraping emails, these people didn't willfully get on there. These people actually willfully put their name, put their email, and even put their phone number and whatever else they wanted to put, whatever else I was requiring of them, into my opt-in form on my lead page, my squeeze page. So the thing is that they willfully did that, which means what? They pre-qualified. That means they found me somewhere else online. And remember, guys, here's just a little tip. Where does your sales funnel really start? With your content out here. Videos, your forum posts, your pages. I'm getting on to another whole different subject, but still, they found me there. And so I had branded myself well enough my products and my services well enough that literally they willfully got in here and filled out their information, whereas scraping would just be going into some program, running the software, collecting the leads, and automatically throwing them into your list. Now, if Bill, Bob, Susan, Karen, and whoever else didn't willfully get in there, I don't care if they came from a targeted platform, it's still not a pre-qualified lead for me. And this is my opinion. It's not a pre-qualified lead for me. And I would much rather trade you 1,000 scraped leads for 10 leads that were willful, that wanted to fill out their information, that literally personally filled out their information. I would trade you 10 of these. I would trade you 1,000 of these for 10 of these. Period. Any day. And I'm not kidding. Do I use scrapers? No. Are they black hat? That's a big question out here. Is it a black hat strategy? I don't think so. Maybe it's a spammy kind of a strategy, but it's not a black hat strategy, really. Because the thing is like you're not building up fake links. You're not trying to, mess around with algorithms by any means with Google or Yahoo or Bing or whatever. You're not really doing that out here. What you are doing, though, however, is, these things cost money. They cost money to run. The softwares cost money. Sometimes there's a monthly fee for the crazy program. Forgive me, I'm just getting over a cold. Whatever it is. The thing is that what are you spending your money on? And remember, if you're throwing them into some sort of autoresponder system, you have to remember that a lot of these autoresponder systems, as the more lead you get, it can cost you more. So don't forget, this is going to cost you. So what are you willing to spend on unqualified leads? That's the biggest question out here. Is it black hat? No. But could it be a total waste of time, energy, and money? And we'll talk about your time here in a second, and energy. Is it probably not. I don't want to waste my time on just going and knocking doors along the street selling insurance. No, I want to go to people that actually fill out their information willfully to get my foot in that door to sell the insurance. So I don't do that anymore. I work at home, but I'm just saying that's it. On to the next thing right here. I know, I'm still kind of spacey from the cold medication. Tell you the truth, guys, here's the other thing. Creating good content online and building a good solid list of leads and prospects and customers through that quality content and everything else actually takes less effort for me than it would be to have what? An unqualified list. Why? Then I have to market so much harder. I do. I have to spend more time on that list. I have to put up with unsubscribes, hate mail, and you never know. There could be people that you actually scraped a lead from, and they're like, I don't even know how I got on this list, and I'm pretty ticked off about it. As a matter of fact, I know what your program is, I know who you are, and I'm putting some stuff out on this. You're willing to risk your brand for this? If you are, man, take a second look before you do it. Take a second look first. I'm not saying that it's horrible. I'm just saying that it could be a real waste of money, effort, and you might end up having to work harder just to convert that traffic. And that's not even traffic, to convert the information that you took. Yeah, you took the information. You didn't earn the traffic. It wasn't traffic there for you. That was, you went in and you took the information. So the thing is that, you might have to work harder to close these. So if you are doing scraping and everything else, make sure that in your email marketing, guys, that you really, really build trust real fast, because trust me, you gotta build that trust, guys, especially if this isn't from natural traffic, this is just you taking information, then you better build that trust real quick, as fast as you can in the first couple, 2, 3 emails, and blast that you. I would send out a personal blast to, say, if you scraped 40 leads today, I would send a personal message to them saying, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. Introduce them to who you are. That way, even if they are like totally unsubscribing, they might not be so pissy about it. It might actually be like, oh, I'm just going to unsubscribe. Just, oh gosh, I don't even get on there. Or they could be like, I don't know how he got my information, but it sure made sense. You know, you're going to have to build trust quicker, and so this is going to basically make you put more work into, you know, converting that traffic. But in the end all be all of the day, guys, is it really worth the time to sit there and do that? In my opinion, no. It's not. It's worth my time for just 45 minutes to an hour creating a good piece of content, getting a video and a good post linked, getting it ranked right there on the front page in 24 to 72 hours on Google. And usually 70–80% of the time I get that. And the thing is that's quality traffic. That's traffic. Willful traffic. Traffic that wants to know more about what I have. Wants to know more about who I am and what I have to offer. So, is it a bad thing for scraping? No. Could it be a bad thing as a like time waster and money waster? Yeah, it could be. Is it spammy? Yeah. Come on, cop to it. It's spammy. Is it black hat? You know, not really. I don't think it's black hat. I just think it's kind of spammy. Could be a waste of time. Could make you work harder and everything else. That's about it. You know, I'm done with the email scraping thing now. You'll never even hear me talk about it again. Thank you guys very much for listening in. You know, if you're thinking about doing email scraping, you know, watch this video one more time, and let it sink in for a little while before you go out and do something like that. Let it sink in. Because I'll tell you what, it's worth the effort just to take your time and build something over time that really, really counts. I'm telling you guys right now, making money online, finding success online, and I've had gurus online steal my own quote here, but making money online, success online, is just a happy side effect of solid internet marketing skills applied. Not cheap, quick, fast fixes to building a list, but getting a quality list of people who trust you and love your products and services, period. Anyways, thank you guys very much again. If you're a scraper, I'm so sorry. No, I'm not really sorry. I didn't really bag it. I'm just saying, you know, it's whatever. Whatever. Anyways, thank you guys very much again, no matter what. God bless.